great baseball over the past month and continue it tonight against the Reds. Can you tell I was running out of time there on my ramble as Woody Williams? It is the finale of this three-game set against the Cincinnati Reds, and yet again, we as broadcasters can say the Cardinals go for the sweep. Woody Williams will be pitching tonight. He's coming off that Friday night victory over the Seattle Mariners, where he went only 6 innings, but he went 6 innings because he had to endure a 2-hour rain delay. His ball really moving, and you can say officially now, Woody Williams is pitching like Woody Williams, and the Cardinals are winning when he goes out. 3 victories in his last 4 starts, a record of 3-0, and an ERA of just over 1.5 runs. I'm Joe, that's Al, and we talk about Suppan, maybe not enough. Talk about Marquis, obviously Carpenter. Morris gets his 9th win last night, and Woody Williams now is in the category of the guy who has absolutely turned it around.
Well, he has, and I think if we all had it to do over again, we would have started the season with Woody on the disabled list. He tried to endure his spring training during the regular season, but now he is ready for the combat. He's won 3 of the last 4. Like you said, his ERA is the lowest point it's been all season, and Woody Williams is back.
And so he continues the pitching, you hope, of Carpenter 2 days ago, Matt Morris last night. That's old school bobblehead dolls. This is Jim Edmonds, one of the best in the business. He can also move guys around out in center.
Easy, easy.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Cardinals baseball rolls on Fox Sports Net tonight. Game number 3 as the Cardinals go for the sweep over the Cincinnati Reds. Here at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals have won 7 straight. A win tonight means they have 52 on the season, and that would be most in the major leagues. Our Bank of America, higher standards. And we talk about Jim Edmonds and what he does defensively in his career. 6 Gold Gloves, and boy, did he show off that Gold Glove last night in center field. And to look at some of the top plays since he arrived in 2000 for the St. Louis Cardinals. To Edmonds. The throw to third. It's on line. He got him. Oh, is that finished?
Here's the fly ball into center. Edmonds has got it.
He'll make the play. Macias tagging up, playing the plate. Here it is. Molina's there. Tag is there. And it stays 4-3 Cardinals.
Non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
We are ready for baseball at 7:09 as Ryan Friel leads it off and takes a strike underway. Woody Williams coming off that victory against Seattle. A no decision in Kansas City prior to that. The team won and then wins at Texas and Cincinnati before that. As we mentioned, he has been outstanding, 3-0 with an ERA of 1.67. His last 4 starts, and opponents are hitting way under 200 against him. Here's a 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. You look at the numbers for Ryan Friel. He's first up in the order tonight. And after Friel, it's Larkin and Jimenez. 2-1 delivery from Woody Williams is high, 3-1.
Woody Williams making his 17th start, even his record last time out with that victory. 3rd in his last 4 decisions, and the ERA of 4.18 is the lowest it's been at any point this season.
Showing bunt on 3-1, which is odd. And taking a strike, it's 3-2. The imposing figure and shadow of Jim Edmonds out in center. And Jim is not going to get to this one. A leadoff base hit for Friel, who adds to his .277 average. He's going to test Edmonds. The throw, he caught Edmonds napping. And it's a leadoff hustle double for Ryan Friel.
Well, Jim Edmonds, we show him right here. He kind of goes a roundabout to get to the ball very casually, and that's when Friel made that decision. Jim looked up, but Ryan had already started his advancement towards second, and the throw is high and gets up there. Heads up play by the young Red. Jim fighting the sun, but that had nothing to do with him getting from first to second.
So now let's see how Woody Williams tries to get out of this. Larkin at the plate. Ball one inside. Barry Larkin now. Jimenez, then Ken Griffey Jr.
12-time All-Star. Congratulations to Barry, being named by Jack McKeon. Third most in franchise history, behind Hall of Famer Johnny Bench, and all-time hits leader. What's that guy's name? Pete Rose? Something like that?
Yeah. Are we allowed to say that on a Major League Baseball telecast?
I think so. I think we can name him when we're talking about the Reds. And
Charlie Hustle?
All-time hits leader.
It's okay.
Yeah, the Hustler.
2-0 the count on Barry Larkin, who last night was held hitless 1 out of 8 in this series. The 2-0, 3-0. We'll give you a look at the entire lineup after Larkin does something. Ryan Friel with a hustling double, and now Larkin with a count in his favor, 3-0. Tonight the Cardinals take on the left-hander Jesus Sanchez, who's bounced around in his career. On 3-0, swinging on 3-0, 3-1.
Trying to go downtown, Barry Larkin. And a couple guys that know something about home runs kind of giggling about that wild swing.
Anchorman and Ken Griffey Jr.
Anchorman. It's out now, isn't it?
I think it's coming
Friday.
out Friday. 3-1 to Larkin. Line drive caught. There's a break. 1 on, 1 out. Take a look at the lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines for Cincinnati. You know the top two. D'Angelo Jimenez coming up, and Ken Griffey Jr. Adam Dunn, Jason LaRue, Juan Castro. Brandon Larson is at third base, and then Jesus Sanchez against Woody Williams, who takes his 6-6 record out there. And as Al said, his lowest ERA at any point this season at 4.18. He didn't get his first win. Woody didn't until the 11th of May. So he has made up some ground. Jimenez takes a strike. D'Angelo hitting .256, 6 homers, 26 RBI.
318 his last 30 games.
Our microphone's so good you can hear the Velcro unvelcroing when Jimenez adjusts his batting gloves. Now that sounds of the game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mike Matheny out to talk to Woody, who's struggling a little bit with his command. Joe, you can't emphasize how good he was after a 2-hour rain delay. Went 2 1/3 innings, 2-hour rain delay, and then he came back and actually was much better command wise and got stronger. Really showed you. You know, Bob Melvin sits there and goes, why didn't he go back out there? You know, he had Jamie Moyer. Didn't come back out.
Roger Cedeno's wearing a microphone for us tonight, so we will hear the innermost secrets and private thoughts of Cedeno as we go along. There's a strike on the outside corner, and Jimenez is in the hole 1 and 2. I think you will find, and I'm not going to act like I know Roger Cedeno really well. I don't. But I think you'll find that he's a very engaging guy and a fun-loving guy, and we'll get a chance to listen into some of that tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, he's already impressed me, and a lot different than what I perceived him to be.
Definitely different than the Mets fans think he is. Here's a 1-2. Bounces in there, and Matheny, like a backstop, knocks it down. 2-2.
That's Mike playing in this. I mean, 136. Yeah, this would be 137th game without an error, extending his major league record. How about that?
It's amazing.
I said 136, right? I meant 236. 237 with this one.
Here's a 2-2 with Friel back at second, a breaking ball, and somehow Jimenez doesn't offer it that pitch. Good pitch. It's a full count.
Woody's still having trouble with the right-handed batters. They're batting 307. Lefties are batting 228.
I think before that last pitch, Friel got a little too frisky back there at second, so Woody's trying to keep him close. Step here, a step there might make a difference. And I'm not sure that Woody even knows that Edgar Renteria just came flashing in behind him at second base. Woody never flinched.
I saw another good thing where Jim Edmonds was reacting, came running in to back up.
That'll get out of play. Still 3-2 on Jimenez with Griffey next. It's fun to watch Ken Griffey Jr. Typically, he will start a conversation and continue it through the course of the game with somebody who is seated in those high dollar seats right behind him in the on-deck circle. See? Look at that. I don't know that he's talking to anybody. Yeah, he's talking to that guy in the white shirt.
See him, right?
Here's a 3-2 in the dirt, and Mr. Conversational is going to have a chance with 2 on 1 out. Take a look at the Cardinal defense. We go around the horn. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. So Taguchi. The wheel has come around and landed on his name tonight for left field with Edmonds and Sanders in right. Roland, Renteria, Womack, Pujols on the infield. Matheny is out to talk to his hurler, Woody Williams.
They've been struggling a little bit. Hey, the Cardinals and the American Red Cross thank more than 121 St. Louisans who donated blood this afternoon at the second annual Cardinals Red Cross blood drive held at the center in Clayton. This is almost doubles last year's total of 67 pints of blood donated. Steve Klein and Ray King were out there to be part-time vampires or whatever, but well, that's great. 121 pints.
Boy, that pitch moved a lot, and it almost fooled Matheny or got by him. Ball 1 to Ken Griffey Jr.
I got to thank Ken Griffey. Got a golf tournament coming up, and I took a Stan Musial bet. You know, he and the Griffey family and Stan are both from Denora, Pennsylvania. Stan actually played with Junior's grandfather. And I asked him, you know, I said, hey, I'll trade you a Musial bet. He says, I already got one, but I'll give you one for your golf tournament. So I want to thank him. Look at those numbers.
Got to be excited about facing Woody Williams on top of all that. A 2-0 count. Watch out. Oh. Ready to unload. He did, and the count's 2-1. Woody Williams atypically falling behind one hitter after another, and that's a bad habit to fall into, which he's done here with the first 4 hitters.
Griffey had 3 hits last night, and he's hit in 4 of his last 5 games at 467.
Into right field, didn't get it all, but will it carry? Back is Sanders, 2 out. The runner Friel tags and goes to third. Back to first is Jimenez, 2 out. Hit it almost one-handed. It got close to the wall in right. And Woody, if he can get Adam Dunn, can get out of all this.
Junior's really struggled since hitting 500 at this ballpark, but you're right, he fooled a little bit, just enough, and even though it went out to the warning track, he was off balance with his swing.
Here is Adam Dunn.
He should get out of this inning unscathed.
Every time you do that, it doesn't work.
It's going to work. It's going to work.
All right. First and third, 2 out. Ball 1. Well, we showed you the guy who has been pounding on Woody Williams in his career. He got him, and now look at the 8 strikeouts, 1 home run, but only 4 out of 22 for Adam Dunn in his career against Woody.
Now you would think Woody would just work him over.
On the inside corner like that, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Adam Dunn is one of those dangerous hitters, but you really he's a mistake hitter. You make your quality pitches, you're going to retire him. If you make a mistake, he can hurt you.
First and third, 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. No score here in the first inning. Good pitch again, 1-2. Dunn thought it was too far inside. The Cardinals have the 4th best team ERA after last night's victory. 3.84. Who leads the major leagues? Of course, it's the New York Mets. Who else would it be? Here's a 1-2. Got him on the outside corner. You were right, Al. He worked him over, and the strikeout ends the top of the first. Reds lead 2 after a half, no score. As is the Cincinnati half of the Advance Auto Parts pitching matchup. And limited work for Sanchez after joining this Cincinnati team.
He really got roughed up in his last start, and his only start of the year at the big leagues. He'd been most of the time at AAA. Had trouble with control, walked a few guys. He gave up a couple home runs, but this guy's 2-0 at Busch Stadium.
Take a look at the Cardinals lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. No real surprises. Womack leading it off. He's been hot. Then Renteria, Albert, Scott Rowland batting cleanup. Reggie Sanders is up in the number 5 spot against the lefty. Edmonds, Matheny, Sotaguchi, and Woody Williams. Overall, the number is very good for Tony Womack. He's even driven in 22. His average 306, and he'll try to find a hole in this defense. We go around the horn, brought to you by Auto Tire. Highlight the all-star Barry Larkin, Adam Dunn, Ken Griffey Jr., Ryan Friel in the outfield, Larson, Larkin, Menez, and Castro on the right side. LaRue catching Sanchez. 9th career appearance against the Cardinals for Sanchez. As Al talked about last night, we were witness to a very good start years ago by Jesus as a Marlin against the Cardinals right here.
That was a 7-0 shutout. August the 8th, 2000. 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts in that game. I think the real key to him right now is going to be how effective his slider is.
Here's a 1-1 to Tony Womack. There's a good pitch. Might have been that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Mitchell Page felt like he didn't throw a curveball, but that looked more like a curveball than a slider.
On 1-2, Tony breaks his bat. This is going to be a tough play. Larkin, base hit. Just a little old ground ball to the shortstop position. And Womack with that great speed, too much for Larkin or any shortstop.
You know, Barry Larkin, remarkable, 40 years of age, only 1 error on the season. Tough play coming in. He's got to throw on the run. It's a little offline, but with Tony's great speed, that's going to be a base hit all the way. He gets out of the box very quickly. His 22nd infield hit of the year. And the Cardinals, they got their leadoff man just like the Reds, but hopefully the hero of the last 2 nights, Edgar Renteria, can put himself in the scoring position.
A check on Womack. Pretty good move by Sanchez. Womack was frozen but got back. And Womack's looking out at Sanchez like, I got to figure that out.
Didn't remember that one. Lifted the leg up, but it looked like there was a little bit of a lean, as if, you know, he was going to have to go to the plate.
Renteria takes ball 1.
Renteria's gotten game-winning hits the last 2 nights. Got the highest batting average, 437 versus left-hander, leads the National League hitters, and 4 of his 5 home runs have come off of lefties.
1-0 to Edgar. Into left center field, going to get it. Griffey, will he? No. And Womack is off and running. Tony is brought around. Here comes a throw by Larkin to the plate. It is late. Cardinals lead 1-0. Edgar again.
I don't know if I saw it the same way you did, but it didn't look like Griffey reacted very well on the ball at all. And goes up against the wall. He gets the ball out to Larkin, and you can see how they are. The shortstop, second baseman behind him, and just a terrible throw.
They actually had a shot at Womack.
They did have a shot at him. Tony sees that the ball's getting down, turns on the afterburners, and they send him home. But you're right. I thought they were going to have a real legitimate shot at him, but just a terrible throw and no contest.
I'll say this, and who knows, this is just a total guess, but we had that first shot of Jimenez. It's almost like when you play basketball against a guy when you're worn out and you can't guard him, you duck down real quick when they're ready to shoot, and it looked like Jimenez yelled something and may have bothered Larkin right on this throw, and it just went nowhere. I mean, that's
see
as bad a throw as you can have.
Yeah, he cupped his hand, and then maybe when Barry turned.
Renneria stealing third, throw down, got him. And with nobody out in the inning, that's not a wise move, as Renneria tried to do too much.
The old adage, don't make the first out of an inning at third base. Put the head down, he comes in there. And really, the throw is in the dirt, and he really slides into the tag. Debatable whether his leg got in ahead of the time, but when the throw beats you like that, many times you're going to be called out.
The reaction by Albert Pujols when Renneria was called out said it all. As I looked down at him, his shoulder sagged, and he was thinking, we didn't need that. I can knock you in from second base
Right.
just as easily as I can third almost. Now the count's 3-0 on Pujols. And he's swinging on 3-0. 3 balls and a strike.
It's not like you're down to the pitcher spot in the order and you're trying to steal a run. Not with Albert and Scott Rowland coming up.
Sanchez on 3-1. That'll put Albert on with 1 out in the inning. Scott Rowland will walk to the plate. Well, I know I speak on behalf of everybody at Fox Sports Midwest when I wish the best of luck to Joel Quenneville, who is headed out to the Colorado Avalanche. He is such a classy guy and was such a good citizen here in St. Louis, and we will miss him for a number of different reasons. And we wish him luck, not too much with Colorado, but we wish him luck nonetheless. We'll miss him around here.
Kind of knows Colorado too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That worked out well.
Runner at first, 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes on Rowland. Two balls, no strikes, and Sanchez better get it figured out here quickly, or he's not going to last very long.
How about Scott Rowland? 8-game hitting streak, 444 during that time.
'80 RBIs. Pujols at first. 2 balls and a strike from Jesus Sanchez. This is the part of the Cincinnati Reds that you have to believe at some point as the summer wears on, this rotation is going to be overexposed, and they're going to have a tough time hanging in there. It's been a great start. They deserve a lot of credit. They've got a lot of guys who at the end of games have had a flair for the dramatic, and they have a lot of talent. But in their starting rotation, they come up short.
Yeah, but Don Gullett and Dave Miley, the manager, they did a remarkable job the first 3 months to be one of the most surprising teams in all of baseball. But with all the injuries they've had, and their luck is starting to fade.
3-1 pitch. Rowland takes ball 4, and only because of Renneria trying to swipe third is Jesus Sanchez not in a dire situation here in the first inning. He may be anyway. 2 on, 1 out. A run home, and Reggie Sanders at the plate.
Reggie's had success against this southpaw too. And I think we're going to talk about it right now.
Our Ford dealers key matchup. This is the guy the Cardinals won up, like the Reds had with Griffey against Woody Williams. 455 career average against Jesus Sanchez.
Reggie's only hit 209 against left-handers this year, but this is more what I envisioned, these type of numbers against Sanchez.
A big pinch hit double in last night's game with the Cardinals down by a run. Came in the 7th inning, and he was pinch hitting for Matt Morris, got on, and Edgar Renteria hit a 2-run home run.
Yeah, 7 RBIs his last 9 games, going 10 for 33. 300 average with 3 home runs and with runners in scoring position.
Time called at the plate. Runners on at first and second, 1 out. Reggie Sanders trying to add to his 42 RBIs for the season. Or why not just add to the total of 14 home runs while we're at it? Off the end of the bat, and it's quickly 0-2. Jim Edmonds on deck. How about the Yankees getting blistered by the Detroit Tigers 2 games in a row? They thought they were going to coast in the AL East a week ago. Then they get swept at the Mets, and they lose 2 out of 3 to Detroit. That'll make George happy.
Well, unlike the Reds, George has the pocketbook to go out and
he'll get somebody.
He'll get somebody just because he hadn't done it for a day or 2.
2 on, 1 out. Reggie Sanders needs to deliver here. That gets away, and the runners advance to second and third as LaRue was crossed up. And by being crossed up, he may have cost his pitcher Sanchez a chance at strike 3 on Sanders. Like a decent pitch.
Yeah, it has to be a pass ball. As he was fooled, he was expecting the fastball there and got an off-speed pitch. Usually you're able to adjust to that because it's softer than what you expected.
We haven't seen yet wild pitch or pass ball. You would have to think it's a pass ball, but I am going to just close my mouth because you just never know. It's a pass ball. Second and third, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reggie. And Sanchez is slow. He's not deliberate.
Postpones the inevitable.
That's another way of putting it. I like to say slow. Jesus. Let's go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jesus is getting the most out of this major league appearance with the Cincinnati Reds.
We talked about last time he walked 3 in 4 1/3 innings. He also allowed 2 home runs and 6 hits. That was a career high. 6 runs that they scored.
Two. Sanders strikes out. That's a big pitch and a big out for Jesus Sanchez. Second and third, 2 down for Edmonds. Edmonds last night a big part of the Cardinal victory. Not only that catch that we've shown you a bunch of times tonight, robbing Adam Dunn of a home run clearly, but belting a long, high, majestic home run into the back of the Cardinal bullpen to give the Cardinals their 5-3 lead, and that was the final 5-3. A hit could mean 2.
Yeah, a lot of room out in left center. Area where Jim can hit the ball out of the ballpark. As Dunn is playing him straight away like a right-handed hitter. Hit his home run off of Gabe White, a southpaw, last night.
Just a little dribbler would be fine here. LaRue's going to be worn out by the end of this first inning. Cincinnati catcher's been sliding all over the place. 2 balls, no strikes. After all this, the Cardinals, they fail to get another hit. They end up getting only 1 run, which would be disappointing. We have said it many times the other way. If Sanchez gets out of this giving up only 1, he would have to be thrilled. Edmonds doesn't look like he wants to swing yet. Now he does, and it's 2-1. Clearly taking on the first 2 pitches and unloading there.
Only 60 at bats against left-handers, but Jim's hitting .317. Against right-handers, 205 at bats, a .263 average.
Two-one. Oh, a wide strike. 2-2. The only good thing about that being called a strike is that hopefully Woody Williams will get the corners like that. 2 balls, 2 strikes, second and third, 2 out, 1-0 Cardinals here in the first. After all that, the Cardinals get only 1. First out happened at third base, and the inning fell apart after that. 1-0. There's Adam Dunn. We'll look at him. 0-0. The Cardinals lead after 1. There's Adam Dunn in the dugout, only because the truck is humoring me. I say this with the utmost respect, but I think Adam Dunn looks like Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell there is playing the role of Ron Burgundy in Anchorman. What do you think?
He's a real man, too, wasn't he? Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. He just said it like it was.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
70s, San Diego, wasn't it?
I think there's something there. That's all I'm saying. Strike 1 on Jason LaRue, and we're underway in the second inning.
Hope he has a sense of humor.
Well, you know.
I mean, Will Ferrell.
I would hope he does. Here's a 1-0-1 rather, and it's 0-2.
He appears to have one.
Ferrell?
Yes.
I promise you he does. Waving, but he's not reacting. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That way.
It'll be LaRue, then Castro, then Larson. If anybody gets on, Jesus Sanchez, who has to feel fortunate to get out of that first inning, only allowing 1 run. LaRue almost walked into that pitch.
He's been hit 12 times this season. He's also been on the disabled list with a fractured finger.
You know that in Milwaukee, where the Brewers are going for a sweep over the Cubs before the Cubs come here over the weekend, they post that score of just even 1-0 Cardinals in the first inning, and those Cubs players, who are now 5 games out of first place, have to be thinking, here we go again. They are relentless, those Cardinals. LaRue pops it up into right. Reggie Sanders. 1 out.
I had someone tell me today that travels to Chicago frequently and listens to the talk shows up there. Said the first couple months they never mentioned the Cardinals, weren't even in the picture, and now they said the same talk shows are talking about, well, we got the wild card.
Right, and they do, because you look at where the Cardinals sit record-wise. They're so far and away better than anybody else in the National League. 51 wins. San Diego has 5 fewer. Same for the Cubs. Right now the Cubs would be leading the wild card race.
But Tony will tell you there's a lot of game to be played and a lot of season. You just keep on grinding away.
Kerry Wood just had his first rehab start. He's been pitching in simulated games and he got through it okay. So they'll get him back after the All-Star break, it appears, and that's great news for Chicago.
I'm not even too sure, Joe, that they might push things, and they don't have a pitcher announced for Sunday. Could be Pryor, could be Wood. I don't know.
It would be Pryor's day in a matchup of Pryor and Morris, the last starter for the Cardinals.
Got Carpenter, got Jason Marquis, Suppan, and Carpenter listed against Maddox, Clement, and to be announced.
So the Cardinals are going to take advantage of that open date, push everybody, keep them on rotation, and instead of, like it would have been, let's say, even earlier in the season, do whatever you can to get Matt Morris in a start against the Chicago Cubs. They're just going to let it roll and let Matt Morris's turn come after the All-Star break. So that's interesting. And that just speaks to how well, Al, Marquis, Suppan, and Carpenter have all pitched.
Yeah, I mean, every one of them pitching well. Matt also.
2 balls and a strike.
And I think it's, you know, it's an honor to play in the All-Star game, but I think for the Cardinals pitching staff, it's going to be a welcome rest for all the guys.
2-1 pitch is low. 3 balls and a strike with 2 out, nobody on. And the pitcher Sanchez on deck. Here it comes on 3-1. A 2-out walk, and that won't make Woody happy. Now the pitcher at least gets to swing the bat here and get out of the way in the second. I'll say this, when you look at the big picture and you realize that the Cardinals have the 4th best ERA in Major League Baseball as a team, they've put together 51 victories as a group. They've got a couple of 9-game winners. Suppan has been unbelievable. Marquis has what, 8 victories, and yet the Cardinals don't have a pitcher as an all-star. I think it speaks well to everything we've talked about the first half, how it's really been spread across the entire rotation. No one guy is carrying this pitching staff, and that's really the strength in numbers.
And Joe, you could tell in spring training that the starting staff, and of course it was, if Woody and Matt pitched the way they're capable of, and Carpenter healthy, it was going to be much better than people thought, and the same with the bullpen.
I don't think Sanchez had much of a chance against those pitches from Woody Williams. He is out. Williams gets his second strikeout. The Reds have left 3. Bottom of the second, 1-0. Cardinals on top. Roger Cedeno's wearing a mic. He is on the bench, and here he is before the game and, well, before the game.
Oh, congratulations. That was beautiful. You know what? That was a good thing. If you're going to do that thing in the row, hit that home run, this is the place. Oh, man, that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. Woody pitching today, that's the only guy I can, unbelievable, huh? You can't tell when he pitched. Huh?
Talking first to Ken Griffey Jr., then to Marlon Anderson, congratulating Griffey on that 500th home run and echoing our sentiments and Ken's that if he's going to hit it on the road, this is the place to do it, like he did on Father's Day. And then talking to Marlon about Woody Williams and his demeanor not changing the day he's starting compared to a day when he's just watching. Cardinal fans, we want to hear from you. Log on to www.stocardinals.com. Tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard. Taguchi now.
Yeah, Woody pretty much is the same person all the time.
Strike 1 to Taguchi.
Serious.
Taguchi pops it up. Everybody looks to Griffey to come get it. 2 out. And Woody Williams will bat with the bases empty. Nothing says summer like picnics in Cardinal baseball. Now you can get both with Power Alley, Busch Stadium's most popular picnic area. Power Alley includes a 2-hour all-you-can-eat buffet, plus unlimited beer and soda. Several great dates remain in August and September. If you have just a group or if you have just a few. You have to have a group of 4 to book this fan favorite. There's the number, 425-0600, if you want to join us in Power Alley. 2 out, Woody Williams. Has 5 hits and 28 at bats. Fouls at strike 1.
Swung the bat better in that last game too. He got one of the rallies going.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. Williams goes into the gap in right center. Friel won't get it. And Woody will cruise into second with a 2-out double. Gregory Scott Williams has a double with 2 out here in the second.
Woody, just a good solid player, and got a double in his last start to start a 3-run rally, but he let off that inning. Here he's trying to do something with 2 outs.
Milwaukee has a 1-0 lead in the third inning at home against the Cubs. Zambrano against Davis. Best news for the Cubs is that Zambrano, who came out of his last start with a problem in his pitching forearm, is making his start without missing any time. The last thing the Cubs need is to lose that right hand.
Be very interesting. I noticed they had 42,000 plus in last night's game up in Milwaukee. Be very interesting to see how much of that crowd is Cub fans and how much is Milwaukee.
The 0-1 to Womack, trying to knock home a run. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I would think in years past it would be probably 70 to 80% would be Cub fans, and now I think it's probably 50-50. Milwaukee getting excited.
Womack is jammed, and Jimenez makes the play. The Cardinals waste the double by Woody Williams. Woody's trying to do it all again. We go to the third inning, top of the order for Cincinnati, 1-0. 1-0, the Cardinals on top. They've out-hit the Reds 3-1. Cincinnati had a golden opportunity to get on the board in the first, came up empty. We look ahead, and Friday the Cardinals are back in action after a day off tomorrow. And we showed the Chicago flag because the Cubs are in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday before the All-Star break. On the air Friday night right here on Fox Sports Midwest. 6:30 with Cardinals tonight. Can anybody get there? Yes, Reggie. Why not? Ryan Friel is the first out here in the top of the third. Larkin will bat.
Stand room only for all 3 of those Chicago games. Didn't take long to get rid of those, Power Alley seats we had, or
they're gone.
Homer's Landing. Homer's Landing last night. I told you it wouldn't last long. They're all sold out.
Barry Larkin now with 1 out, nobody on. Got a nice note from Brenda Cook, Southeast Missouri, south of Cape Girardeau. Son Garrett is serving in the National Guard stationed in Iraq, and anytime Garrett can get any glimpse of Busch Stadium on television, he does, and it brings tears to his eyes seeing home, and hopefully he will get home safely and be home soon.
All of our troops doing a great job over there.
Studying that soft red ball. Just having a great time. 1 ball, 1 strike on Larkin. Yeah, I like that. Good follow through. Came right over the top.
Got a Larry Sherry pitch back.
Is that one of our camera people throwing the ball? That's on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There we are.
Go get it, kid. I'm watching the game. Throw it back to Daddy. Throw it back to Daddy. Throw it. Okay. On the right side for Albert Pujols. Catch the ball for Daddy. Catch the 2 out.
We're going to be having a little fun at Albert Pujols golf tournament tomorrow.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Out of Forest Hills to benefit Down syndrome.
Yep. I see that you're going to be there. Tony La Russa, Tony Womack, former Cardinal Bobby Bonilla, Bernie Federico, Adam Timmerman of the Rams, and a bunch of the guys. Due to limited space, the tournament will be closed to the public.
Is everywhere. I was at a golf tournament in the Ozarks. There he was. He's playing in Albert's golf tournament. So he's a guy that the Rams brought in, got him from the Green Bay Packers. He was a part of the World Championship. He's been a solid player, and he has been a great addition to this community.
He's gotten really involved with Fellowship of Christian Athletes, too.
That's right. There's a breaking ball that's low. The count 2-0. Williams liked that pitch. Sure, Matheny did, but the home plate umpire, John Hirschbeck, did not. 2-0. 2 out, nobody on. Slow roller and a foul ball. Still waiting on the punishment to be handed down on the Roger Cedeno suspension that's looming over the Cardinals. And
tell you one thing, he must be a heck of a trial lawyer.
He must have presented a compelling case, because it's taking them days to figure it out.
You know,
weeks. The 3-1.
His appeal is, you know, I think they forgot. They were so enthralled with his explanations that they forgot that they have to make a ruling.
What was it originally? 5 games?
I think 4 games.
Here's a 3-2. Menez stays alive. And as Tony La Russa said today in the paper, that thing bleeds over. Now you lose a guy like Cedeno for an important series against the Cubs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
See, that's where I think they make a mistake. And with all things considered, you know, if you probably, to be fair to a ball club, you do it during interleague play, but that was the 4th of July holiday.
A 2-out walk, and that's bad news with Griffey coming up.
Players have to work, but I guess the judge can take a day off or 2.
3.
Or 4.
More. I want more. More lemonade. Wow. That is one thirsty child. Let him breathe. How long can that last? Wow. Up for air and then right back at it. Here's Griffey. There's strike 1.
Until he gets to the lemon. Is that peekaboo?
There we go. Come on, kid. Griffey's hit.
Got the Griffey shift on. It's a left-hander.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ken has hit 19 home runs, driven in 55. And his first time up, fly to deep right. He didn't get it all and almost got it out of here.
He's homered off of 316 pitchers, 28 teams, and 38 ballparks.
Went after it upstairs. Woody didn't like the pitch. Griffey liked it too much. And it's 1-2. Pitch didn't do much of anything, and it was just bad enough. So now the count's 1-2 on Kent Griffey Jr. 500 even with that home run total.
Struggled since doing that. 11 games since the 500 home run. He's only hit 195.
1-2. Tried to make that perfect pitch. Couldn't catch the corner at the knees. 2-2. These Reds will not have a day off tomorrow. They go to Milwaukee and play a 4-game set. The Cubs do have a day off. And they will spend it here in St. Louis. So watch out at your local malls for the Cubs roaming the hallway. Griffey stays up there.
More.
Ever since he was a young boy, Robert has had a fascination with lemonade. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. 1 on, 2 out. Griffey held it. It's a full count, and Jimenez will take off at first. Woody has walked 3. He's got to make a perfect pitch here or deal with Adam Dunn with 2 on, 2 out.
Easiest pitch to throw is a fastball for strikes. And you see he has 1 more strike than balls thrown tonight. But I would have to believe that he may throw the breaking ball here. Fastball in, it looked like.
Runner goes, and that'll put 2 on. Another walk. 4 in 2 2/3 innings.
Uncharacteristic.
Cliff Floyd is homer to the Mets, who are a couple of games out behind Philadelphia, lead 1-0 in the second at Citizens Bank Ballpark.
Adam Dunn struck out the first time with a couple men on. He's got a chance to have that saga continue, or he can change his fate. Same thing, make good pitches.
Up and away, strike one.
The first time he got a couple pitches in under his hands for strikes.
Two on, two out, 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Cardinals in the bottom of this third will have Renteria, Pujols, and Rolen. So the Cardinals, coming off that sweep of Seattle, have an opportunity tonight to sweep yet another series and continue to roll here at home. 7 straight they've won here at Busch Stadium as the count goes to 1-2 on Dunn.
The Cardinals are 25-17 at home, and at one time they were 3-9.
I remember Milwaukee was the first team through here. I can't remember who followed, but it didn't get much better. Cardinals lost 3 of the 4 games set to the Brewers to start the year. 1-2 pitch. Dunn hits it to center field, and Edmonds will be there waiting for it. So now the Reds miss a chance. They get 2. Parham walks with 2 out. Woody gets out of it, and the Reds have stranded 5. Bottom of the third, heart of the order. 1-0. 2 card-carrying members of the Audubon Society in Major League Baseball. Roger Cedeno just doing his nightly thing.
For the bird. See the bird?
So I have a feeling that John Hirschbeck is not long for this game, but that was very impressive.
It was. It just makes you feel good, doesn't it? What about Hirschbeck? What's the deal?
You know, I mean, I just saw Wally Bell run in to look like probably change, and Mark O'Neill had a long talk along with Wally Bell with John Hirschbeck, and so I think Wally Bell is changing, putting on the gear for back behind the plate.
There's Mark O'Neill, and Hirschbeck was talking to him during the break. Jesus Sanchez goes back to work, and Edgar Renteria, a doubled homer run, the only run of the night, then was out trying to steal third. Back in the first inning, leads it off, took a strike.
You know, we really don't have warm weather here today, but and these umpires are in better shape than they used to. But as you can see, this is discussion before, and so there's only going to be 3 umpires right now, as I think he's changing and getting on the home plate gear.
Renteria continues to hang out one line drive after another. It's into tough luck, and that's out number 1 here in the third.
But they used to really have to prepare the umpires and warn them about taking a lot of fluids coming in, particularly working a day game here at Busch Stadium when you had the turf. Pitchers, it was not uncommon for them to lose 12 pounds of body fluid pitching on a Sunday afternoon game. The turf would reach 145, 150 degrees.
Strike 1 is into Albert Pujols. I mentioned it last night. You can still vote. There's one more spot open on each roster, and it is determined solely by the website, by internet votes. I think the top 2 guys in the National League side would be Lyle Overbay and Steve Finley. I know Abreu is on that list. No balls, 2 strikes on Albert, who's hitting .309. That's going to carry into right pretty well, but Friel is back. 2 out.
So you'd know this better than I, but when did they expand the rosters to 32?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, I think that's best.
This Chinook Stadium history, we go back to 1931. The Browns and the White Sox play a 12-inning game in which no strikeouts are recorded. No strikeouts, and the Chicago team wins it 10-9. Between the Browns, the Brownies, and the White Sox.
Back in that era, a guy could hit 50 home runs in the minor leagues. But if he struck out 100+ times in the minor leagues, he didn't get promoted to the big leagues.
First pitch, a strike to Roland. The thing about the All-Star rosters is if you have to have a representative from every team, and I'm one of the guys that believes you should, and I think I'm in the minority on that, but I think every team should be represented. Then you've got to have more spots available, but you don't want to have too many spots to where it isn't a special honor and it becomes watered down. An 0-2 pitch is low to Roland, and Jesus Sanchez has settled into this game.
Well, I'm there with you. Both counts.
I mean, how do you have an all-star game and you have a city or a fan base not represented in the game because they don't have a player good enough? I think you can find somebody on every roster that for one reason or another deserves to go.
And there was as you're going through a couple of years of expansion, they weren't adding more roster spots. But now you've kind of pretty much rectified that going to 32.
Here's a 2-2 to Scott, fouled straight back. I'll tell you this, and I talked to writers today about it. Doing the All-Star game last year felt totally different than the 4 that I'd done prior to last year because of that whole "this time it counts," and we all laugh about it, and we all got hit over the head with it time and time again. But it changed the way the two managers went about their jobs last year. There's a base hit into right field by Roland. I'll say this on top of that. Mike Scioscia outmanaged Dusty Baker in that game. I think took it more seriously. He was looking at late inning matchups. He got Blaylock, held him back for a right-handed reliever. It happened to be Gagne. He happened to hit a home run. But I think Dusty was more of the school of thought, doing it the old way and letting guys, get 2 at bats and then go catch their private flight out of the host city, and that's not the way it's being done anymore, and that's a good thing.
Yes, it is, and it used to be very, very serious.
Speaking of all-stars, Roland changed up a little bit on that last hit.
Well, you also talk about your Chinook Day in history with no strikeouts. Well, they used to choke up, used to get up there and just try to make contact. It was a sin to strike out, so you try to do whatever you can. You shorten up your stroke. You just try to hit to the opposite field, put the ball in play, and good things can happen.
Rolling on with 2 out. Sanders with a key strikeout for Sanchez in that long first inning. Second and third, 1 out, and you got Reggie Sanders, then followed it up with a strikeout of Jim Edmonds. I said this also today that Major League Baseball clearly has the best all-star game of all the 4 major sports. I mean, by a mile. Nobody can remember their most favorite Pro Bowl moment. And every time you match up Major League Baseball against the NFL, everybody can't wait to say how great the NFL is. But Major League Baseball has made the all-star game better, whether you agree with the reward or not, by putting an emphasis on who wins and who loses the game.
And hopefully we'll have a chance to see the whole week-long activities here in 2008 right here in St. Louis. Been since '66.
2-2 now on Reggie Sanders. It's a fun time, and whether it's the Futures All-Star Game,
Fan Fest, and the whole deal.
Fan Fest, the Celebrity Softball Game, the Home Run Derby, and then the All-Star Game. It's a fun week.
It was Casey Stengel when they asked him what he thought of the new Busch Stadium in '66. Said it holds the heat very well.
Every highlight you see is of everybody fanning themselves with programs. As that pitch drops low and the count's full, that means Roland will go with this next delivery to Reggie Sanders.
Play behind him, but once again, Joe, it just falling into a running count. It's one of the things that you learn, that if you can avoid 3-2 2-out counts, much better off.
Sanders strikes out for the second time tonight. So Sanders came in with the big numbers against Sanchez. So far that hasn't worked, and after 3, 1-0 Cardinals. Downtown St. Louis, and for whatever reason, and I'm sure we'll get the reason here momentarily, Wally Bell is taken over behind the plate. John Hirschbeck is obviously ill, not feeling well. Talking to assistant trainer Mark O'Neill of the Cardinals, and he went not back to the umpire's dressing room, but right into the Cardinals trainer's room, and we'll find out what the deal is. Hopefully it's not too serious and he's all right, but serious enough to leave the game, and Wally Bell will call the balls and strikes. Ground ball foul outside third, and Jason LaRue leads it off here in the 4th inning. 0-2. LaRue flying to right his first time up.
Let's see how Woody, if he has better command with the new umpire.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Every strike zone is the same. It shouldn't matter.
You know, see, that's what I disagree with. You know, every umpire had a different strike zone, and you adjusted to it.
Here's a 1-2. That's hit down the line, foul. Home run distance, but out in front. And the count's still 1-2.
And I know they try and have a uniform strike zone, but I think you're messing with something that people get adjusted to all along.
That's foul. And LaRue's had some pretty good swings against Woody Williams. It got a little out of control with some of those pitches. Think about the Braves and that game down in Florida.
Well, he's out of the league too.
He's not just him. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Tap foul, still 1-2. But pitches that were well outside or well inside and getting breaks and having to adjust, I can understand it. I mean, that's the way you pitched in the big leagues, and you knew who was behind the plate. You knew what you had to do. I can also see Major League Baseball's argument trying to get the umpires under their control a little more as LaRue pops it up into shallow right. Womack is there, and that's out number 1 here in the 4th. Six Flags night is coming up on Sunday night. Remember, that's been changed to a night game. Cardinals and Cubs this Sunday, 7:05 start. All fans receive a coupon for free admission to Six Flags for children 48 inches and under. Don't forget to visit Hurricane Harbor Water Park while you're there. It's Sunday night, and all Sunday home games are ice cream Sundays for most. Here's a pop-up right behind the plate. Matheny hoping, but will run out of room. For more information, call the Cardinals about Sunday night, 421-3060, or log on to stlcardinals.com. Should be huge crowds the entire weekend.
Great crowds, and just what some people are predicting to be a preview of postseason. Not knowing who's going to win and who's the wild card, but could be.
Good play by Woody Williams. We came on talking about his hitting, his pitching, and his defense. And outside of the 4 walks, which I know he's not happy about, in all 3 phases of the game, he's been right there for the Cardinals. You can be the Southwest Airlines family of the game and sit in the special Southwest Airlines suite here at the ballpark. Send a postcard to P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177. See what Woody Williams can do here in the 4th, what he couldn't do in the 2nd. And that is get Brandon Larson and leave the pitcher to lead off next inning. That's down the left field line. Might go back at the wall. It's a 1-1 game. On a home run by Brandon Larson, his 3rd of the year. That ties the game here in the 4th.
That is the first home run that Woody has allowed in 49 2/3 innings. 3rd home run for Brandon Larson. He had been struggling of late. And he got an off-speed pitch. He's out in front. He pulls it right down the line, and he's been on the disabled list a couple times and missed 41 games. He'd only had 1 hit in his previous 18 at bats, and now he's tied this game 1-1.
Now Sanchez gets the bat, and he rolls over to second. So the old 2-out home run by the number 8 guy ties the game. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Edmonds, Matheny, Taguchi coming up. Hopefully many more. The Cardinals and Reds tied 1-1. Greatest dunk? Is it Jordan in the slam dunk competition back in the early 80s? The poster that I had hanging in my college dorm.
Well, that was staged, wasn't it?
Edmonds. Oh, you want an in game.
I want an in game.
Well, that I'll have to listen to Summer Sanders about.
Yeah.
I don't know. A 1-0 to Edmonds. Driven into deep left field. Is that going to untie it? Yep. Another home run for Edmonds, and the Cardinals lead 2-1. Boy, the ball sounds good coming off his bat right now.
Yeah, 18 home runs for Jimmy now, and you know he's hit over 315 at Busch Stadium this season with 12 home runs and 29 RBIs. Better than 55% of his hits have all been extra base hits.
Matheny takes a strike.
Throwing ball out away from him, breaking ball that kind of stays elevated. And that's what separates Jim, that tremendous power of the opposite field.
0-2.
And along with 6 Gold Gloves.
That too. Matheny in the hole 0-2. Taguchi and Woody Williams will follow. Cardinals with the lead. Milwaukee with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. Matheny checked it. 1-2. Matheny strikes out, 1 away. Roger Cedeno with congratulations for Mr. Home Run here in the 4th.
Oh, Jimmy, wanna go, baby? Oh, boy. Oh, Jimmy.
It's all when you time what you say to the hero of the moment. He waited for it to die down a little bit. He chimed in. That's a veteran guy knowing when to say congratulations. Taguchi hits it to deep right. Friel is there. Yeah.
Did you notice he got punched in the head about 8 times?
I think that was Morris at the end.
Well, there's several of them that were popping him a little bit.
And now Edmonds is talking into the mic, and I'm sure none of it is usable. By the way,
I
one
heard
guy.
you have a report on the home plate umpire, John Hirschbeck. Detailed report.
Stomach virus is the word we're getting now. That being said, one guy that we keep talking about, Eldred last night, and Matt Morris talking to us after he came out of the game, and all these players who are letting us mic them. I hope that over the course of time we've given enough thanks to Brian Bartow, the Cardinals PR director, who's done a magnificent job and gone above and beyond the call of duty to help us get that done. So our thanks to Brian. Woody is trying to go 2 for 2, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
And Brian, his staff, very, very helpful to us on a daily basis, and I think great athletes have a great deal of respect for Brian and his staff.
They're calling from the truck. It's John Booch. Brian, hello. You're on television.
Smile, Brian.
Here's a 2-1 to Woody. Popped up. Should end the inning. The Cardinals regain the lead after the Larson home run. Edmonds goes deep the opposite way. BB Brian Bartow helping us out. We go to the 5th. Woody back to work. Bye, Brian. Hang up. 2-1 Cardinals.
Taking a lead 2-1 on the home run by Jim Edmonds. And let's see our slow motion By a breaking ball, but stays up and out over the plate and out over the bullpen fence for Jim's 18th home run of the year, and Woody Williams has a 2-1 lead.
Top of the order for each side here in the fifth, and that means Ryan Friel for Cincinnati. It means Womack in the bottom half. Friel takes a strike. Ryan is 1 for 2, a double, and he's flied to right.
Among the National League leaders in triples and stolen bases. Not noted for his power, but he is noted for hitting them off pretty good guys. He's got 3 of his 5 career home runs. Randy Johnson, Billy Wagner, and Greg Maddux.
1-1 on the inside corner. Held there by Matheny, 1-2. So he, like Joe McEwing, has taken Randy Johnson deep. McEwing's got a couple off.
Yeah.
McEwing has settled into a serious bench role now with the New York Mets. He used to get a lot of playing time, and now he has struggled to get any action for Art Howe, but the Mets are rolling, and they have extra infielders all over the place.
But I think that's an indication of playing on a better team.
Slow roller, bad hop, and that should be a base hit. Came up on Roland, and Friel is on for the second time tonight. And it is a base hit. Friel's 2 out of 3.
And not much you can do for that. Scott Rowland attacks it, but then took that tricky hop and come up high. Misses the glove, and remember, you're bending over. You got a speedy guy running, so you're really, he's got the glove low. He's doing everything he could to make that play, but bending over on the run, trying to get that ball, and takes a tricky hop. You can't adjust.
Larkin takes a ball. Guess who's got 20 home runs? J.D. Drew.
J.D. Drew. I saw the other day where the Atlanta Braves are talking about how they need to get rid of a lot of payroll, but they also were saying how they needed to find a way to sign him long term. They're very happy with J.D.
The Cardinals are thrilled with their end of the deal of Marquis, Ray King, and the future of Adam Wainwright.
I think people had to realize that if JD was here and had a monster season, they wouldn't be able to afford him next year. And if he didn't have the monster season, you wouldn't have wanted him. And we needed pitching, and we got that in return.
1-1 pitch is down and away. 2 balls and a strike. With a pitch count, you wouldn't expect Woody Williams to go too deep into this game. Already up to 85 pitches. He doesn't have an out in the 5th inning. So this will be a night for that very good Cardinal bullpen, and maybe a night for Cal Eldred, who is dying for some work out of that pen. Here's a 2-1. Check on Friel.
Still won't be surprised if he gets through 6.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And talking with Dave Duncan, and one of the reasons why he sent him back out there after that 2-hour rain delay is just because he doesn't have to rely on power. He relies on finesse.
Good pitch. Pujols will get the out at second. Good play. The extra throw unnecessary. Safe is Larkin, but Pujols, for a right-handed throwing first baseman, makes that play look awfully easy.
There are going to be times when you're going to be. It's always much easier to have a left-handed throwing first baseman, but Albert has a very, very strong throwing arm. Throwing on the run there, gets the lead man, and that's real key. Even though Barry one time was a big stolen base threat, Friel now is a bigger threat than Barry Larkin.
Friel has 14 stolen bases, Larkin 2. Larkin takes his lead, 1 on, 1 out. D'Angelo Jimenez takes a ball. Jimenez up and Griffey on deck. Griffey's had some chances tonight. And the Reds have banged out only 3 hits, but they've been hit 4 walks and they've stranded 5. On the outside corner, a ball and a strike. I would say it's a pretty generous strike zone from Wally Bell, and that I think benefits everybody involved.
It is not one of those.
Hey, I thought that was uniform.
Well, theoretically. 1 on, 1 out, 1-1 pitch. Got it by the bat of Jimenez. Strike 2. Cardinals in the bottom of this 5th, as I said, will have the top of the order. A few finals in from around Major League Baseball, and some other games are approaching final scores. Keep an eye on Chicago and Milwaukee. Still 3-0 Brewers middle inning. Jimenez takes it in the dirt. The only other team with 3 pitchers with 8 or more wins like the Cardinals, surprisingly, the Milwaukee Brewers.
They have 2 pitchers that are going to the All-Star game.
Kolb and Sheets, right?
Yes, I knew there's 2, and that's the only 2 I could figure out.
Here's a 2-2, 1 on, 1 out. Full count. So it's been a struggle here tonight for Woody Williams, but the Reds have only 1 run on 3 hits.
Woody can do that to you. Can make pitches when he has to.
Runner goes. Ball 4, 2 on for Griffey. 5 walks for Woody Williams. How long can he get away with that? Explore Cardinal Baseball by arriving at the game in your new Ford Explorer with up to $5,000 cash back or 0% APR for 60 months plus 100 gallons of gas. It's a smart way to get to the game only at your quality Ford stores. Your home run to Cardinal Baseball fun. They are not throwing in the Cardinal bullpen, but they're starting to move around out there. Tony La Russa hoping Williams at this moment can get through 5 innings. 2 on, 1 out, Griffey up. Ball 1. Griffey is hitting .250. Might be a flip, out, no throw. Just not hit hard enough. Instead of an inning-ending double play, it'll be 1st and 3rd, 2 out for Adam Dunn.
Tony Womack, kind of a long way for that flip, and as you said, wasn't hit hard enough, and that flip is not the quickest way to get it to second base. So Renteria did the wise thing and not make an errant throw.
So now it's 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Runner at 3rd is Larkin. Runner at 1st is Griffey.
Here's our theme again with Adam Dunn has already stranded 4 runners. He's got 2 more.
And grounds it through the right side to tie the game. Griffey will hold at 2nd. Larkin will score. Dunn gets the better of this matchup. It's 2-2 in the 5th.
He's throwing strikes to Adam Dunn, striking him out and getting a fly ball to center, but this time he goes up there looking for the first pitch, grounds it through on the right side, ties the game with the 4th hit for the Reds. We're all knotted up at 2-2.
Now it's LaRue who could put Cincinnati on top for the first time tonight. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1. Runner at 2nd, Griffey. Runner at 1st, Dunn. LaRue has driven in 27 this season. The 1-0 pitch. Same spot, same result, 2-0.
That's tough. You throw that curveball, you want to keep it down there, but you're hoping a hitter will pound it in the ground, or you get the called strike. You don't want to elevate it. That's when you get in trouble.
Now time called as
beach ball.
Beach ball is out down the right field line. So just when we talked about the bigger strike zone, I would guarantee you Woody Williams will say, that's not big, Joe. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's my fastball there, Joe.
That is a big ball.
Today's version.
Two on, two out, 2 balls, no strikes. LaRue takes one on the inside corner. Much better and bigger crowd than we had here last night. By better, I mean bigger. Certainly no slight to you folks who were here last night. You did a great job. LaRue grounds to Roland. That's as easy as it gets, and the inning is over. But not before the Reds get a 2-out hit by Adam Dunn. They've tied the game. Top of the order coming up for the Cards. In the bottom of the 5th, it's 2-2. Barry Larkin back at his shortstop position. Our pitch-by-pitch feature is brought to you by Chevrolet.
Now we're talking about Woody Williams and changing speeds and also changing the plane up and in, down and away. Throw a breaking ball down and away also. Sinker coming down here, and he jams him. A little tapper. He got a fielder's choice to Pujols, who got the lead runner at the second base.
Womack takes the ball inside, bottom of the 5th. Jesus Sanchez persevered in a first inning in which the Cardinals missed a chance to really make it a strong start to this night. Gave up only the 1 run. Gave up the Edmonds home run last inning, and he deals with Womack, Renteria, Pujols in a 2-2 game. 2-0 on Tony. See if he is patient. If he's going to take a strike, he does. 2-1.
Sanchez, his only start this year at the big league level, went 4 1/3 innings.
2-2 on Womack.
That was against Cleveland. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, walked 3, 2 home runs in that ball game. Giving up a home run to Edmonds here, but he scattered 5 hits.
Now it's full. See if Womack can get on and get something going for the Cardinals. Red hot Renteria next. Edgar's doubled home a run and lined out. That's off Sanchez and into center. And thank goodness Sanchez got out of the way of that. I believe it caught his glove on its way into center field, and for those reactions, that saves him a terrible injury.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it as he delivers the pitch. Remember, you're 55 feet away, a line drive right off the glove. And boy, he is lucky that went off the glove and not off the coconut. Oh. He got the glove up in front of his face and deflected it into center field. I think he'll allow the single rather than the single knockout punch.
Boy, that is scary. Now Renteria. Check on Womack, who I don't think has a real good read on the move of Sanchez yet.
I got a note here from Sue and Cindy. Said you want to say hello to their mother, Maggie Winberry, and it sounds like, I don't know if she was hit by a line drive or something in spring training, but said she was taken to the hospital before the game with a possible broken arm. So we hope that Maggie is okay.
Renteria lines one into center, and Griffey is there for out number 1. Edgar just keeps hitting the ball hard, and tonight he has scorched it. He's 1 out of 3. Coming up after the game, the Midwest Sports Report, 60 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to the home teams throughout the area. We'll have a complete post game. Our star of the game, Tony La Russa, live. It's tonight at 10, right after the game, only on Fox Sports Net. We talked about getting hit by a batted ball. Sarah Denoyer was at the Cardinal game 2 days ago, or actually 3 days ago. That last game against Seattle was hit by a foul ball twice on that game, and it was, as Pujols takes the ball outside, the first time she got hit was in the neck, and the next time in the head on a line drive hit by Spezio down the right field line. Went to the hospital for observation with a blow to the head, and she's okay. And
Wow.
thank goodness she is. But 2 times, and she was sitting way down the line and right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Albert Pujols. Got to pay attention when you come in here and sit down close to the field. There's no telling what's headed your way.
And you think you get hit one time, you're safe for at least for the day, but not the case, huh?
1 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1.
Is it Lee Trevino was hit twice by lightning?
I don't know.
I think so. Not a lot of people survived the first one.
Pujols sitting 308, 4 out of 9 in this series. We have that slow motion path of the ball, and the ball that came in and left. Tony Womack was on the same path.
And you're always supposed to charge a line drive, aren't you?
Oh,
that was great. Almost
I mean, just
duplicate.
identical.
Yes.
Coming in, going back, and then into center. 2-1 to Albert. 3-1 with Rolen on deck. Is this the inning the Cardinals break through? They've been toying with it, but they have not been able to get that big hit yet. The 3-1. That'll put 2 on with 1 out for Rolen.
And Joe, no activity in the bullpen, so it's like Woody's going back out there.
And when you said no activity in the bullpen, I looked out to my left. I thought Cincinnati would have activity, and now they spring to action out there as Don Gullett will come out and talk to Sanchez. A hit, a line drive out, and a walk in the 5th. So while they talk out on the mound, and while Riedling, the right-hander, John Riedling, gets ready, we will tell you what's on tap. It's brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. That'll be Friday night, first of 3 over the weekend against Chicago. Greg Maddux, Jason Marquis. That'll be the 3rd time they've met this season.
3rd time.
On the air at 6:30 with Cardinals tonight.
Student and professor. There's Riedling.
There's Todd Jones, who is stretching something.
His pen hand. The author.
Oh, that's
the
right.
columnist. You know, you guys.
Writes for Sporting News. 2 on for Scott Rolen. 1 out. Ball 1.
Scotty a walk and a base hit. And Woody 2 wins away from 100.
Packed his own lunch for tonight's game. A 1-0. 2-0. Sanchez is in a bad spot now. 2 on, 1 out, 2-0 the count on the best RBI man in the game this year, Scott Rolen, who has 80, and he has to throw a strike. Doesn't want to throw it yet.
Scott Rolen, 8-game hitting streak, 9 with his base hit last time up. Batting .380 plus against left-handed pitching.
A 2-0. Good pitch over the inside corner. 2-1.
That's the beauty when you're ahead in the count. You don't have to give in to a pitcher. You look for a spot, look for a zone. If it's there, go to Hacken.
2-1. 2-2. Scott Rolen with that .348 average, obviously leading the way in RBIs, and he is now number 4 in batting average. His home runs do not register in the top 10 in the league. one away from the top 10. Looking for something here with a 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 on, 1 out. 2-2 game in the 5th.
I'd be worrying about the guy at the plate.
Two delivery. Popped up. Good pitch. Shallow right. Late break by Friel. Jimenez is there. 2 out. And it's up to Reggie Sanders, who has struck out twice. Sanchez fell behind 2-0 and then made 3 very good pitches to get Scott rolling.
Mark Robert family from Bloomington, Illinois are here celebrating Mark's 37th birthday. He's been a Cardinal fan all his life. He's here with his wife Beth, sons Drake and Drew, mom Rosemary, and stepdad JD. Maybe Reggie can make them happy and give him a happy 37th birthday.
Reggie will tell you he's due with those 2 strikeouts. He has stranded 3 runners on. Good speed on, especially that lead man Womack. Sanders has driven in 42. Ball 1. Woody hoping for some more runs. He has given up a 1-run lead twice. Now some of the fans start a little Reggie chant.
It's worked in the past, hasn't it?
It has. He's trying to catch on. Not in the mood yet. A 1-0. 2-0. Now the count in Sanders' favor.
'83 pitches.
Sanders looking for something to hammer on 2-0. It's 3-0 with Edmonds on deck. If you see something he likes, he's got a rip on 3-0.
Even if he takes a strike, it doesn't mean that he didn't have the green light. Something he likes and an area where he's looking for.
That's down the right field line, trying to get out of play, and it will. 3-1.
All a manager asks is for you to be disciplined enough to look for a certain area. If it's not there, even if it's a strike, to take it. And you get upset is when you weakly ground out or pop one up and say, well, that couldn't have been the pitch you were looking for.
Edmonds might get a chance. It's up to Reggie Sanders and Jesus Sanchez. (3-1). That'll load him up for Edmonds, who has been red hot against left-handed pitching. He has hit one tonight. He hit one last night against Gabe White. He pulled. And last inning against this left-hander Sanchez, he went the other way. So the bases are loaded for Jim Edmonds.
Jimmy's only 2 for 9, but everybody, including pitcher and batter, are remembering that last swing. Big home run, 5 grand slams in his career. This little base hit would look awfully nice too.
Sanchez. Edmonds flies it into center, and that'll end the threat. Base runners stranded all over the place on each side. The Cardinals now have left 7. The Reds have left 7. After 5, each team has scored 2. Game, the Cardinals have out-hit Cincinnati. Each side has left 7. Pitch one is a strike to Juan Castro. It'll be Castro, then Larson, then the pitcher's spot, Sanchez. The 0-1. That's foul. 0-2. Those two internet candidates, by the way, have been selected.
Really?
Bobby Abreu for the National League.
Congratulations.
Hideki Matsui for the American League. They are headed to Houston for Tuesday night's All-Star game on Fox. 0-2 is grounded to Womack. They hadn't played properly. 1 out. It's not a big point, Al, but you can see the arm strength of Tony Womack
Improving, yeah.
And he's getting the ball to first base. He's waiting a little more. He's getting everything set. Earlier in the year, he was cheating, trying to get rid of it quicker, and now he's confident that that arm is stronger.
Yeah, he said something to me even in spring training that really made perfect sense. He wasn't worried about re-injuring the arm that was surgically repaired, Tommy John surgery last October. But he said what was crucial and important to him was to get his footwork, and have that proper to take the stress off the elbow.
A 1-0 to Larson, who homered his last time. It's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Brandon, who has walked and homered, it was only his 3rd shot of the year.
Larson holds the Louisville career record for home runs, grand slams.
And broken bats here as he grounds to Roland. Good little pickup on each end. 2 out. Boy, they make that look easy. Our Hardee's hot pitch of the game brought to you by Hardee's, and for the first time in a long time, it's on the other side. This was at the end of a good sequence by Sanchez to get rolling.
Down and in, and pops it up.
Sanchez gets to bat, and that's a ball up and away.
Sanchez was down there at Louisville. You know who ranks 2nd career RBIs? Or who's #1 RBI guy at Louisville is? Former Cardinal. We haven't mentioned his name in a long, long time.
What? Just give me one hint and I'll get it.
First baseman. Might have been with you well, it might have been there when you were in Louisville.
Our first basemen were Leon Durham. I don't think he qualified.
No, and then it was after you.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Mike Fitzgerald.
Rod Brewer.
Rod Brewer. Former big league Cardinal as well. A strikeout for Woody Williams. Gets him through 6. Gets some runs. Bottom of the order coming up. 2-2. Game as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Our home run feature brought to you by Suntrip. Jim Edmonds went opposite field. 102 on the year for the Cardinals, and the Suntrip Automotive family donates $100 for every home run hit to the Win One for the Kids charity fund. We said it last night, and the Cardinals hit 2 after we mentioned that little feature. So let's go. It's Matheny, Taguchi, and then Woody Williams. The bottom 3 in the order for the Cardinals here in the 6th inning. Mike tonight is 0 for 2.
You love getting in Suntrip's pocket.
I take great pride. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mike has a home run off this pitcher. Doesn't have much else as he's 2 for 15 with a home run.
It may only take 1 more run.
You never know the way the bullpen has been, but Woody's still out there dealing.
And it looks like he's going to go back out for the 7th. Had a good, quick 6th inning, which will help him try to go 7.
Yeah, he's throwing 109 pitches on the night. He usually, very easy to go that 120 or so. So
that's foul outside third. Strike 2 on Matheny.
These guys also realize that if they can hang in there and throw up quality games and keep the opposition down, that the likelihood of their teammates coming back is very good. Cardinals have team batting average 275, 2nd in the league with 438 runs.
A 1-2 pitch. Matheny down the right field line. Friel is over for it. 1 out. Matheny 0 for 3, and Taguchi will be the hitter with Woody Williams to follow. mentioned it last night, and it's even more exciting to talk about it tonight. If the Cardinals win this evening, they will have the highest win total of any team in Major League Baseball, including the $183 million New York Yankees,
who already lost to Detroit. How about a home run from Taguchi?
With one out, gave it a pretty good rip, strike one. So tonight is 0 for 2. Hit it to center, hit it to right. Griffey and Friel have been there waiting for him.
Has one home run on the year.
That's down the right field line. That's trouble. Friel on the run. Can he get there? No, but it's a foul ball. And Friel may have injured himself.
Well, he gave an effort and didn't slow down nearing that wall. Looked like more of the leg injury. The trainer going out to assist him. See, it was the knee or the ankle. You got that padding that.
Ooh,
oh, there it is.
Hey.
Ooh, yeah.
If he touches that ball while it's fair, even if he knocks it foul,
you're right.
It's a fair ball, and that first look looked like it was awfully close. To be fair to Laz Diaz, the first base umpire, our first look wasn't right down the line, but it was close.
I think it's very, very close, and he's down there, makes the correct call. I think his knee, when he slid in there, you got the padding that goes, oh, probably down to about 6 inches from the ground, and I think his knee might have gotten underneath that padding and went right into the concrete wall.
Not too much unlike Bill Miller here.
Right.
A few years ago, while he was playing for the Cubs down the left field side, sliding in that billboard area and banging his knee against the wall.
See, I think that's the one leg that gets in the padding, but the left leg is the one that crams in there. The ankle and knee goes into the concrete, or into the, I guess it is a, still have this, how would that have been still part of the movable stands that they had at one time when they swing around for the football configuration. On his feet, and that's a good sign. He isn't moving too well, though.
He is due to lead off the 7th inning, but he is finished. And hopefully he will be okay, and his fans give him a nice round of applause for the effort. That is the sign for the tallest man in the world. He's going to play right field for the Cincinnati Reds. You saw their manager put his hand way up in the air, so it's a tall guy that's coming in to play right.
Willie Moe? Is that who it is?
It is Willie Moe Pena. Very tall, according to Dave Miley, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. While Friel makes his way off the field, we remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC. So Friel is out, and Pena will take over. So Pena is off the bench. Friel is out. And the ovation for Friel will grow as he gets closer to the Cincinnati dugout.
That's all they need, another injury.
And he's a valuable player for them.
He's valuable in this game. 2 for 3.
Back to action, and Taguchi's in the hole 0-2. Up the middle, off the pitcher. To Castro, base hit. The Reds did all they could, but Taguchi is on with one out here in the 6th.
How about an infield single and then circle the bases? Had a chance here, but Taguchi better speed than Sanchez. A race to the bag, and Taguchi wins.
The other small problem for the Reds was Sanchez didn't have the ball.
Well, Sanchez is a long distance runner. You know, Japan over the Dominican Republic, and Sanchez truly was a long distance runner back in his native land. A champion long distance runner.
Now he deals with Woody Williams, who is thinking about bunting. It looked like the hit and run. The throw down to second, and safe on a stolen base with a great effort to get to the bag is Taguchi.
Barry Larkin fielding that ball with a throw on the first base side and trying to make a swipe tag, and with the umpire rotation, Woody tries to do everything he can to protect the runner. There's the ball, sails to the inside, and he slides by the bag. Look, he averts the tag. And the one thing that Laz Diaz, the first base umpire, was making sure that he stays in the baseline. Trying to reach around, tag the base, comes back there, and Laz said yes, he did stay within the running lanes.
There was also the first question that Larkin asked. Did he stay in the baseline? Now Williams pops it up, and it's going to be up to Womack. Griffey Jr. pulls it in. Woody Williams, who has a double, is now 1 out of 3, and it's up to Womack to try to drive in his 23rd run of the year with Taguchi at second, 2 out. That was a hit and run, I believe, with Woody Williams and so Taguchi, and the pitch was so bad that Woody couldn't really put much of a swing on it.
Right. Riedling is warming up again. But that'll be for Renteria, so it all depends on what Tony does.
Runner at second, 2 out. Tony Womack trying to deliver for the Cardinals here in a tie game in the 6th. How many times has Womack come through? Ball 1.
Happy 21st birthday to Dan Barker. And happy birthday to Don Jacobs of Troy, Illinois. And Chuck Oberfeld. Kim's brother.
Kenny Oberfeld is part of the '82 championship season. 1-0 to Womack is in for a strike. Say this for Sanchez in the first inning. We thought he would be lucky to make it out of the first, and he has pitched pretty well as he works here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trying to keep it 2-2. He's made some good pitches when he's had to. He's been in trouble, but he's been able to get out of it for the most part. Cardinals have left 7. Womack's in the hole, 1-2. Pittsburgh beat Florida 4-3, and Milwaukee at home leads the Cubs 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th.
Who's pitching for Milwaukee?
Davis.
Yeah. They're getting more and more confident, aren't they? Milwaukee Brewers, you can tell that opening series they were a vastly improved club.
They win, they'll only be a game behind Chicago. Here's the 1-2. Womack off the plate. Sanchez makes the play, and the inning is over. So the Cardinals have left 8, and we head into the 7th inning. Woody Williams heads back to work. It's a 2-2 score.
Rogers got a bat, stretching out a little bit. Maybe he'll be a hero later on.
Willie Mopena's first up, his first at bat, after Ryan Friel had to leave with what we assume to be a left knee injury, and hopefully it's not as serious as it looked with him limping off the field. But good little player, and the Reds will miss him if he has to go on the DL. First pitch is a ball to Pena. Hitting .271, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, and a much different type player than Ryan Friel. 2-0 with action for the Cardinals out in their bullpen.
111 pitches for Woody, and these guys building confidence. He's had 2 games over 120 pitches, averaging just under 100.
2-0 and 1.
Louis Moe, one of those big, strong guys that Woody's facing. 34 games since August the 18th. You see the high at 90, low of 66. Willie Mo's bat 313.
3 balls and a strike. After Larkin, who's on deck, you get Jimenez, Griffey, Dunn. The Cardinals have Ray King getting loose after great relief work last night from Steve Klein, who got the save with 2 innings, a leadoff walk, and that is 6 walks from Woody Williams tonight. Now we'll see how the Reds want to play it with Larkin up. Want the runner down to second or have him swing away so far tonight. And in this series, start within this series, Larkin is 1 out of 11. He's 0 for 3 against Woody Williams tonight.
First shortstop, a 30-30 man back in I think 96.
Cardinals want to see if Larkin will tip his hand.
Kind of step off there to see if he will give it away. 12-time All-Star, 95 National League MVP. He's won 9 Louisville Silver Slugger Awards, 3 Rawlings Gold Gloves.
They're going to bunt. Larkin takes the ball.
4-time Reds MVP. 9 times in the last 14 seasons, top-rated shortstop in the National League. And in '96 became the first shortstop in Major League history to produce 30-30 in the same season. 30 home runs, 30 steals.
So here the Reds stay with a bunt. The bunt is hard to first and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. What is your opinion on a situation like that? If Pujols had charged it, he maybe could have gotten there and taken the out. Some people say if they're going to give you an out, take it. But you're also conceding the bunt and letting Pena get into scoring position here in the 7th.
As a pitcher, I can see it both ways, but personally, I'm glad he let him bunt. If I was pitching, I always felt I could get a strikeout from the guy trying to bunt, get him to pop it up.
Here's a 1-1. Pena has a very small lead. It may take a good bunt by Larkin if they stay with the bunt to get him down to second. 34,999. The attendance here tonight. And they've seen a 2-2 game roll into the 7th. The bunt again. It's inside. It's 2-1. And if Williams falls any further behind, they may let Larkin swing away.
Interesting to me is was always taught the curveball was one of the easiest to bunt, and with proper technique it is. The tough pitch to bunt is the fastball up.
Runner goes, hit and run, foul ball. So back to first goes Willie Mo Pena, and the count's 2-2. You can forget the bunt. So they try to get aggressive, start the runner, and make Larkin swing the bat, and he couldn't put it in play.
You know, Joe, is interesting. I talked to a member of the Cincinnati media today. Kind of left me with the impression that the front office wasn't real happy with Larkin's announcement.
Another foul by Larkin. We mentioned it last night that he told the front office of the Reds to hold off on any celebrations. Final weekend of the season at their ballpark in Cincinnati as a retirement going away party. He said, I want to leave my options open for next year.
And obviously it would be his 20th with his hometown. The fans were very critical last time when there was a delay in him signing and the ownership had to get involved. But as long as he is as productive as he is this year, you know, he's 40 years of age. He's only made 1 error. came in tonight batting .290. A little easier than the last couple of years when he was hurt most of the time.
Another 2-2 to Larkin. Breaking ball fouled out of play, and this at bat continues. The fans have gone to entertaining themselves by starting the way.
This could be the last batter that Woody faces. Ray King has been warming all inning. Jimenez is a switch hitter.
Another 2-2. Another foul ball, and Larkin had a great rip at a pitch that was sitting there. Another 2-2. Just missed a full count now.
Just a bit wide. Very close, but Larkin wasn't tempted.
How about a little strike him out, throw him out, double play? I think the Reds will start to run.
That sounds good.
Going. Foul ball.
Seemed like he had a big jump. As Woody really concentrating on throwing a strike to the plate, slowed down his delivery.
The New York Mets at the end of the night are going to be one game out of first place as we approach the All-Star break. They are beating up on Philadelphia 10-0. What a huge addition Richard Hidalgo has been.
Just adding. I mean, I just didn't understand that trade at all. That trade, and then the Dotel Beltran trade, because Beltran is Hidalgo. Hidalgo's going well. I mean, Beltran's a switch hitter, maybe a little better defensively, but two good offensive players, and you weakened your bullpen, which was already your Achilles heel.
That's into center for Edmonds. Back to first is Pena, and hindsight tells you that Pujols made the right decision letting that bunt roll foul. Runner at first, one out, instead of runner at second, one out. Here comes Tony La Russa. And is he going to chat? No. And to the dismay of Woody Williams, he's going to exit this game. So with a runner at first, one out, Jimenez and Griffey coming up. Ray King is coming out of the bullpen. We're 2-2 in the seventh. Moment comes from Ray King. Quote of the day: I try and pitch with a Dave Stewart mentality. Hearing that quote, some of the young guys said, Dave Stewart, who's that? Our call to the bullpen is brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel, and anybody who watched Dave Stewart pitch knows exactly what Ray King is talking about.
That's also one of the best reclamation projects with Dave Duncan, too. Here you see the numbers for Ray King, unscored upon in 28 games since allowing a run on May the 3rd. 19 2/3 scoreless streak, the longest of his career. He's allowed just one run in his last 38 games for a 0.33 ERA, ranks fourth among National League relievers with an ERA of 1.20. Team leader in games pitched with his 43rd.
Jimenez is first to face him, and that good fastball from King is strike one. He shocked the home plate umpire Wally Bell. And after taking about 3 warm-up pitches, he said, I'm ready. Go ahead. Bring him in.
Ray told me the other day he's going to only throw 1. You're allowed 8.
Back to King. Can't find it. The only out is at first. And it's a runner at second, 2 down. Now you clearly have the option with a base open of pitching to Griffey or pitching to Dunn. 2 out in the inning. And Tony Womack, when King couldn't come up with it, was screaming at Ray to go to first.
Yeah, you got to get one out, so get the safe one. That's at first base. He does so. And I think the way Ray King has pitched and held left-handed batters to a 184 average, they'll go right after King. If they fall behind, they might elect to pass him. But no right-hander is warming up, so it's Ray King against Ken Griffey Jr.
Go ahead run at second. 2 out, and a pitch is poured right in there from Ray King, coming right after Griffey. Strike one. And there's another reason to go after.
54 average.
King goes way behind the mound. I don't know if something's wrong with him or what.
It's a good observation, Joe, because normally you don't see that. So after throwing that one pitch, you wonder why he took that long stroll.
Odd. See what comes out of his hand here on 0-1. Into left field, slicing to Taguchi. Attaway Ray King. The bullpen doing its thing as King gets Griffey, and off we go. It's time to stretch. Bottom of the 7th. Big bats coming up. Jim McKinley is today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th, Jim McKinley qualifies for the Hyundai Santa Fe drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Jim, you have the right guys coming up. Renteria, Pujols, and Rolen if anybody gets on Sanders against the right-handed pitching stylings of John Riedling. Our call to the bullpen brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel.
Joe, I'll tell you one thing. You look at the first 20 games of Riedling's season, he had an ERA of 0.41. In the last 20 games, 7.42.
Something has got to give. I just like saying that once a broadcast.
Well, now he's in his third 20.
That's right. So which will it be? We don't know.
Somewhere in between. You'd almost guarantee that.
Here is Renteria. There is strike one. Edgar has hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He has an RBI double. He's lined out to second. He is lined out to center.
Battle of the bullpens now. Doug Davis continues to throw up zeros against the Cubbies.
Left side. Larkin, a long throw. Wide and safe. Larkin took a little extra time, and now Renteria with heads up base running is into second with nobody out. Castro playing first base. We haven't seen him there much, and as the ball trickled away, Renteria kept on going.
There's a kind of little hesitation. Then he tried to snap the throw sidearm, and so it's an error. They could give it 2 errors. They did not give a hit, but then the ball gets away, and Edgar takes off for second base and makes it safely. So a 2-base error apparently on the shortstop.
Now it's Albert. And a slow roller. Third base side is foul. You're right. And I really think the proper ruling would be to give him 2 errors.
Yes.
An error on the initial play to allow Renteria to get to first on a semi-routine play. He was going to take a good strong throw, but nothing out of the ordinary. And then another error as it got away and Renteria went down to second.
He collects himself. Tries to take that crow hop, but there you see how the ball really sails, and then compound it with Castro not holding on to the ball. Didn't get away that far, but alert base running by Renteria, and he gets himself in scoring position with nobody out.
Here's an 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike from Riedling, who now has to pitch around that error. They're deep, and straight away.
Yep. Everybody back as far as they can, particularly up the middle. Cincinnati Redlegs, they've got a great franchise history, 135 years in duration.
Left side, Pujols does not advance the runner. It's a big out for Riedling. And here comes Rolen.
Breaking ball and trying to pull it, rolled over the top of it.
Rolen is 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a pop-up. They could elect to walk Rolen and pitch to Sanders.
Maybe with that numbers, 5 for 6, home run and a hit batter, you may want to. And that's what they've chosen to do. See that he's going. He can't get him out. We better walk him.
So the intentional pass will put 2 on with 1 out for Sanders, who struck out twice and walked. But say this for Reggie, he has had a flair for the dramatic in the late innings so far this season, as Riedling almost threw that thing away.
You know, I laugh when he almost did it again. You know, when hitters go, oh, they walked the guy ahead of me. You know, they didn't show me any respect. It's just common sense. It has nothing to do with respect one way or the other.
Riedling was all over the map with that intentional pass. The one thing it does do, however, is by walking Rolen, unless Sanders hits into a double play, you have to deal with Edmonds, who's been hot, a left-handed hitter. Are you ready for your 2004 Major League Baseball All-Star Game? Tune into Fox for all the action live from Houston, July 13th at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. That is next Tuesday night. Muhammad Ali will be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. How about Sanders versus John Riedling?
Well, pick your poison.
2 on, 1 out, Reggie. Can he deliver again for the Cardinals? Sanders hit with runners at second and third, 1 out in the first, struck out. Hit with a runner on and 2 out in the third, struck out. Then he walked to load the bases in the fifth. He checked his swing, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 8th with Milwaukee leading at home over the Cubs 4-0. 4-hitter being thrown by Davis. Edmonds on deck, but all eyes are on Reggie Sanders. This Cardinal team comes to the park every day expecting to win. Believing they're going to get that big hit, and they ask for it here. Instead, it's 2-0.
Now, Joe, the Cardinals have some stars, but every day they just, you know, write a game scenario where they allow everybody to compete, and really nobody has to shoulder any more of the load than they're capable of. Some guys have done a lot more damage, but everybody kind of gets a chance to contribute. That's why I don't know if you'd even want to tinker with this club. You could say you want a left fielder, but you're getting all the spare parts playing time by putting somebody out there on a daily basis.
Good pitch down and in, 92 miles per hour from Riedling. It's 2-1. Sanders' 7th inning on is hitting .273, which doesn't knock you over, but when his overall average is .254, it's definitely pulling up what he's doing in the early part of the ballgame. With runners in scoring position, a .300 hitter. Back up the middle, base hit. Sanders delivers and the Cardinals lead. Great base running all around as Rolen goes to third. Renteria scores, and it's 3-2 St. Louis.
And Griffey hurt himself. It was just a well-placed ball right up the middle, eluding the pitcher, shortstop, and second baseman out in center field. And now they're going to send the trainer out to check on Griffey. It looked like he might have injured his leg. He's saying no, but just sneaks through. Now watch Griffey. You see his leg slipped on him. That ankle, he had a calf injury. Then he missed 5 games before coming in. See, he slipped on that turf out there.
The on-deck hitter Edmonds will come up and help Renteria, who's saying don't get your pants dirty if you don't have to. There's no throw at all from Griffey, and because of that, Roland, he was going to go whether there was a throw or not, went first to third. Now he's at third with only 1 out for Edmonds.
It's big to go from first to third. You're right, Scotty, the kind of guy he is, even with his sore knee, was going to take advantage and go on over to third base. But with 1 out, that could be a huge run.
Ball 1 low. The infield for Cincinnati is back. So a ground ball, especially to the middle infielders, if they have to move to their left or right and isn't a double play ball, would make this a 4-2 Cardinal lead. One ball, 1 strike as Riedling pulled the string. I'm surprised the Reds infielders aren't at least halfway, at least up a little more.
Playing up for double play depth.
While we play here in the 7th, a reminder, Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and is an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Jim Edmonds with a chance to add to the Cardinal lead. He has driven in 52. Not close with Matheny on deck. 2 balls and a strike.
Can go there with Rowan. I was watching with Dave McKay showing the time to the plate to Reggie Sanders at first.
Three and 1 on Edmonds, and I'm sure they're not going to lay one in for Jim with the base open, albeit second, and Matheny on deck.
Don't try and do too much, Jim. They walk you, they walk you.
Hard hit, line drive for 1 out, and they double off Sanders to end the inning. The Cardinals did get a run. Dave Miley, the manager of the Reds, ordered the walk. Said put Roland on. They did, and Sanders made them pay. We go to the 8th inning. Cardinals again lead by 1. It's 3-2. That is the night so far, 3-2 as we go to the top of the 8th. Al Raboski has provided a celebrity sighting. The great Nick Lachey is here. Married to Jessica Simpson, stars of Newlyweds on MTV, and by the way, a guy who got a great singing voice. Even though he's in a boy band at one point in his life, I've heard him sing the national anthem, and he can sing. From Cincinnati.
I have seen many episodes.
I watch it. I'm not ashamed to admit.
I don't turn it on.
It's hard to turn off. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adam Dunn. Ray King came on to finish the top of the 7th. He got Jimenez on a comebacker and then got Griffey Jr. to line out to left. Here's a 1-1. There's a fly ball into left field. The Park will hold it. Taguchi is back. 1 out. Well, last night Matt Morris visited with us in the 8th inning, and the bullpen held on for his 9th win of the year. Woody, you gave it all you had tonight. I know Part of you wishes you were out there to finish that 7th inning. Talk to us about coming out at that time.
Well, you know, Tony has a lot of confidence in me to tell him the truth on how I feel and if I can still get outs. And, you know, starting the 7th inning, I lead off with a walk, and I kind of shot myself in the foot. And then Larkin battled me, and I don't know how many pitches I threw to him.
We will continue to talk while they take Ray King out of the ball game. King did a nice job in relief of you, Woody. You turn it over to this bullpen. I mean, it's old by now, everything that we're saying up here, but what's new? We like to repeat things over and over. This bullpen for you guys has been absolutely phenomenal, and everybody seems to have settled into a nice role for Tony La Russa.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. They've been very, very consistent. You know, all the guys out there have been doing a remarkable job, and, you know, there's no problem with handing the game over to them. And, you know, they're paying attention and make sure they make their pitches.
I'm sure at some point all of us make too much of a pitch count. You know, we look at that number all the time and we say, well, he's got 91 through 6 innings. He's not going to be able to go deep into a game. I bet you could care less about a pitch count. It's just how you feel, isn't it?
It definitely is, as long as I can keep the ball down. And that 7th inning, like I said, I shot myself in the foot with a leadoff walk. But, you know, I have a lot of time between now and the next start, so I'll be able to rebound.
Woody, you can't say enough about you starters, how you're going deep into ball games and how easy that makes Tony's decisions and the work for the bullpen. It all falls in place.
It definitely does. They've done a great job, like I said, and the starters have done a good job going deep in the game, and I think that's very important to make sure the bullpen stays fresh and stays strong.
I know you're itching to get out of there. Last question. You've got a long time before you start again. What are you going to do between now and then? Hey, Ray, nice job, Ray.
I don't know. I'm just going to continue to work hard between now and Sunday, so whenever my number is called after the break, I'll be ready.
All right, Woody, nice job tonight, and hope you get part of this Cardinal victory. And he won't get the win, but, Al, we talked about it last night. Matt Morris happened to survive long enough to be in the right position to get the win. Woody Williams, as he said, didn't have his best stuff tonight, had to battle, did walk 6. But he gave the Cardinals another opportunity to win. He only gave up, what, 2 runs on 4 hits.
I mean, it's a quality start. The thing that he'll probably be displeased with is the 6 walks, but, you know, he takes it deep into the ball game. He gets into the 7th inning. Another quality start, like I said, turn over the bullpen. And most important thing is the front of the uniform where it says Cardinals, not the individual on the back. Sure, you'd like to have wins, but as long as they go under the team.
Tavares came in. Our call to the bullpen, as we showed you, brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel. We talked about coming in. Woody has been doing everything. He's been pitching great. He's been getting hits. He had a double in the ball game, and he's been playing very good defense. And we are used to that terrific defense, and by now used to very solid starts from Woody Williams. Great to have him pitching so well. As LaRue goes after the first pitch, a breaking ball flies it into left field. 2 out here in the 8th inning as Tavares gets the first man he faces. And with the bases empty, the batter will be Juan Castro. You can visit STLCardinals.com, the #1 site for live game pitch-by-pitch coverage, MLB.tv and MLB.com game day audio, STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. Boy, it is nice of those guys to bother to stop by and talk with us on their way back to the clubhouse, and they certainly don't have to do it. Matt did it last night, and we thank Woody for doing it tonight.
No, that's the 3rd time for Woody.
How about this? How about Tavares coming in, throwing 2 pitches and getting out of the 8th inning? We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals will have the bottom part of the order coming up. They lead it 3-2.
6 days, the National League will stand up for the people. Only the American League can make this country great again. You voted now. Meet your 2004 All-Stars.
The 2004 All-Star Game, live from Minute Maid Park. Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. And by Chevrolet, 10 new models, 5 available now. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Is this going to be a night in which the Cardinals add to their division lead and make it 6 games over the Cubs? A new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds comes into the ball game. Third pitcher of the night, call to the bullpen, brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel. And it's our old buddy Todd Jones coming in for the Reds.
Done a nice job as he signed a minor league contract with the Reds. He's 6-2. That ties a career high in wins for him. Third time he's reached that level. Got a lot of wins out of their bullpen, really, and had 4. He has 6. As their relievers almost have as many wins as the starters.
Mike Matheny first up against him. The Cubs were shut out on only 4 hits. 4-0, a loss in Milwaukee. They were swept by the Brewers. And they'll be in town on Friday. Jason Marquis, 8-4, takes on Greg Maddux, then Suppan and Clement. Chris Carpenter against to be determined for the Cubs on Sunday. It's a night game. That's up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike of Matheny.
Jones was released by the Devil Rays, as you see. Isringhausen, how nice was it for him to get a night off last night? 2-inning save for Kleiner.
You get the benefit of that tonight.
Sure. And then with an off day tomorrow, he'd be ready for all 3 games if needed against the Cubs, and then 3 days off during the break.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Matheny trying to get it started. Taguchi on deck, and a breaking ball. Matheny lays off.
You said the Milwaukee will be 1 game behind the Cubs now.
That's it.
What a great story about them.
Cubs would be 6 out. The Brewers 7 out if the Cardinals win. Cincinnati 8 out. Houston started the day 9 games out of first place. That's up the middle, and Matheny has his first hit of the night. Everything is falling right for Tony La Russa, as he has the bottom part of the order here. He's got Taguchi up, who is one of the best bunters on the team, to bunt Matheny down to second, and then he's got the pitcher spot coming up, and he can send Mabry to the plate.
He's down the on deck circle. Taguchi looking down at Oquendo, who's flashing the signs to him, and the Reds are expecting the bunt, and so are we. 7 sacrifice. I guess the truck is too. That graphic up there.
Some may say, why don't you pinch run for Mike Matheny? And I don't think that would even cross Tony La Russa's mind with right now a 1-run game. Isringhausen coming in. You don't take away from your defense. It doesn't matter as Taguchi puts down a perfect bunt.
He was called out for running out of the baseline, but they executed the play anyway. His 8th sacrifice of the season.
Now Mabry will pinch hit.
If you stay with Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, you'll see him say that he runs out of the baseline right there, and the home plate umpire is calling him out.
How fundamentally sound is So Taguchi?
Barrel higher, you get flex at the knees so you can go up and down with the pitch, and you don't jab at it, you let the ball come to the bat. It's almost as if your right hand is your glove hand, and then just catch it with the barrel of the bat. When you have soft hands, when you make contact, just let it deaden in your hand to soften the blow.
Matheny is waiting down at second, hoping to be delivered by John Mabry. And Matheny was tutoring yesterday the art of catching.
And Mabry's legs are probably pretty sore.
He lines one to the first baseman. What a bad break. Hit it right on the nose. 2 out. And the batter will be Womack.
How many 1-run games has the Cardinals been involved in this year? I mean, last year that was their Achilles heel. This year they have to have won the majority of them.
Well, when you've got a bullpen as good as the Cardinals, 1- and 2-run games, you see the Cardinals are 14-10 this season in 1-run games. And that's our truck always being prepared. Doug and Mike and Tom and Don and everybody else that's down there. Isringhausen getting loose for the 9th. Brian, of course, as well. Here comes an 0-1 to Womack. Still a run sitting out there. If he can bring it home, Womack checked his swing, and the count evens 1-1. Nadia's down in that truck. So many.
Brian McCann.
Jeannie. I mean, just thousands prop us up, Al, to try as best they can to make us look good for the entire Fox Sports Midwest viewing audience. Womack way out in front. Good pitch from Jones. It's 1-2. We first saw Todd Jones when he rose to prominence as the closer for the Astros.
And of course, the truck is ruled by Kim Everly.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Womack. Whoa. Almost got away. 2-2. Here's Ringhausen in the 9th inning. Will face these scheduled hitters. Who knows who it'll be? Larson, number 8 man. Then the pitcher spot. Then Willie Mopena.
Where did we first see Todd Jones?
Houston.
Houston.
And he's with Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
And he's been just about everywhere. Boston, Colorado, Tampa Bay. Womack plunks one into right. Is that a fair ball? Yes, and the Cardinals double their lead. Womack delivers. Safe at the plate is Matheny. Womack has 23 RBIs, and the Cardinals lead 4-2. It is somebody different night after night after night.
That's what you really want to do. As a manager, you don't want to depend on 1 or 2 guys. You want everybody part of the action. And I'll tell you one thing, when Womack gets an RBI, they're usually very meaningful. And maybe in this case, it gives you an extra insurance run. Missing location, down and in, he just drops the bat head, lofts the ball into the right field corner.
Now Renteria could bring home Tony, and he was ripping at a pitch that was up.
He's seeing the ball well, isn't he? He's already hit 2 extremely hard hit balls that he lined out. He had a double and an RBI the first time up, and it was his ball to shortstop, the 2-base error, that gave the Cardinals the go-ahead run, or he eventually scored the go-ahead run.
Good breaking ball, strike 2. I've only been doing this for 14 years. You've been doing this a lot longer than I, and certainly played, know a lot more about the game. I haven't seen a Cardinal team play like this night after night this consistently since I've been around here.
And that's it, Joe. I mean, you can't talk about the 04 version without saying team.
They're so balanced in the lineup, defensively, in the rotation, in the bullpen, with their chemistry as a ball club.
And look at when you went into spring training, all the critics said there's no bench, there's no starting pitching, there's no relief pitching. Yeah, you got some offense, but it's not enough.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Renteria hits one to center, and Griffey's going to catch it. I mean, Edgar Renteria has hit the ball hard 4 times tonight and has only 1 hit. He can't hit the ball harder. Isringhausen takes over. 9th inning, 4-2 Cardinals.
Tuesday, July 13th, baseball's best coverage on into Houston for one spectacular night, the 75th All-Star Game. Don't miss the biggest names in the game. Battle for their league's right to win home field advantage in this year's World Series. It's the 2004 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Tuesday, July 13th, only on Fox. John Mabry stays in the game, play right field, and Jason Isringhausen will take over, looking for save number 20 on the year, and trying to send this big crowd, better than 35,000, home happy. And the Cardinals looking for their 52nd win. Izzy trying to nail down his 20th save in 24 opportunities.
First up is Larson. He's homered tonight. He takes a strike. Brandon has walked, homered, grounded out. Good pitch. Bottom fell out of it. 0-2.
Seems like Izzy's getting more and more confidence in using that breaking ball. At times it seems like it's, for a guy that throws in the mid-90s, he doesn't want to throw the fastball and doesn't want to throw the curveball.
Oh, goodness.
A little high.
Pretty good pitch. 1-2.
There's the old express.
Larson. Yeah, now he got him. A borderline pitch. And Isringhausen gets it. 1 out. Pat Paris picked a pretty prescient period to tell us what's coming up on the Midwest Sports Report. Pat, it's all you.
Immediately after the game on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report live player interview, Tony La Russa's post-game comments, and John Hadley taking your phone calls. That's all after the game. Now back to Joe and Al. Guys.
1 out, nobody on. Thank you, Pat. Here in the 9th inning, and here is Jacob Cruz to bat for the pitcher Todd Jones, who went an inning and allowed a run on 2 hits.
Leads the major leagues with 10 hits as a pinch hitter.
Isringhausen groaning and grunting as he lets the pitch go.
10 for 28 with a home run and 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter for Cruz.
Izzy's looking for number 20 tonight. Good pitch. He is throwing hard tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a lot of life coming out of his hand. Off day tomorrow. The Cubs are in town over the weekend. And what an opportunity that would be for the Cardinals to really open things up in the division. 2 balls and a strike. On deck is Willie Mo Pena. After Pena, it's Larkin, then Jimenez, then you would get to Griffey. Here's a 2-1. Slow roller, Albert Pujols. 2 out. Our Bud Light play of the game is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real, it's all here. Reggie Sanders, after the intentional walk to Scott Rowland, said, "Ha-ha, I will beat you with a ground ball up the middle." And Renteria scored to make it 3-2. And a 2-out RBI by Womack in the 8th made it 4-2. And this crowd wants to celebrate another sweep by the Cardinals here at home and their 8th consecutive home win. We thank Roger Cedeno and Woody Williams for joining us tonight on the telecast. Pena, ground ball to Womack. Let's celebrate another. The Cardinals have a 6-game lead in the NL Central, and they sweep the Cincinnati Reds and await the arrival of the Chicago Cubs. Another night, another hero, another victory. We'll be right back with a complete post-game wrap-up. For Dan and Al, I'm Joe. Talk to you in just a moment. Let's go to the studio.